Hello, welcome back to my channel, Preparing for Retirement. My name is Martha, and on this channel, we talk about the various ways that I am preparing for our retirement, where our plan is to go and slow travel the world. So, this video is going to be our June update. I have had a goal for some time of retiring with $750,000 in net worth. In our case, it will be in our investments because we're not going to own anything really. um, but it's a very ambitious goal. And so I have set up this spreadsheet here so that we can track our progress. I think we're going to be really, really close, by the time the end of August comes around, as long as the market cooperates, which, maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I'm really pleased with our progress so far. So, there's a couple of things that I need to talk about before we start updating. The first thing is that we have sold our house. As you can see here, by the zero balance for our real estate equity, we have sold our house, and all of that money has now been moved throughout June. It's been being set up into various investments. Some of them are dividends that will pay us over the month and give us the money that we need to hopefully not have to dip into the more liquid part, the cash and CDs and whatnot. Hopefully, those can just continue to sit and gather interest, and I won't have to use them. Hopefully, we'll be able to live off the dividends. But I do have redundancy. I have cash in place for, see, it's going to be about, I think, 9 months worth of expenses by the time that August is done. It should be about 9 months worth of expenses. Just in the event that the market starts to turn down, we won't have to disrupt anything. And some of the dividend stocks that I am investing in are going to pay out even with market downturns. They have solid histories. And so I do, believe that I will have some income even in a, a bad market, or a poorly performing market. I do believe that I will have some income coming in. So it helps extend that cash out if I have to make it for a while. So that was one update. The second update is that I realized, going back over this sheet, I did realize that I did not factor in the cost of selling the house into the real estate equity, which I should have done. Um, I thought I was doing that with taking 80% of the estimate, but the estimate I was using was an average between Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com, and they were wildly inaccurate, as I kind of figured was going to happen. So I took 80%, which brought it down to about what it should have been. But then I needed to back out the cost of selling your home because that is not our equity. So I've gone in to the net worth here and I've backed out the cost of selling the home, which was 30,000, so that we're looking at apples to apples, okay? And then here we do see that, I made a note that the change was made because the house equity didn't reflect the realtor commissions. That is, realtor commissions are not going to be money that we can walk away with as, our equity. So I did want it to be accurate. And I didn't want it to look like all of a sudden, whoa, we lost 30,000 this month because we sold the house. That's not how it works. You try to get the value of your real estate equity, and that's, your asset value minus any liabilities, or, the cost of selling the home if you're actively selling it. So anyway, so that adjustment has been made, and it does show here, um, in the trending. So it did move everything down 30,000. It meant that we had more of a difference in our net worth goal, but that's okay. That's all right. It's accurate now. So now that I've said all that, let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, we're going to go into our emergency funds. These are the funds that are kept in a relatively liquid state. It could be a high yield savings account. It could be just a regular cash management account, but it does not include any CDs in this particular uh, column for emergency funds. It has to be accessible to us. We'll start out here, and I'm doing this kind of differently than I normally do this, so hopefully it's not too clunky. Okay, so our emergency funds now are $25,000. Okay, that's purely emergency. That's not the cash that we will be living on from month to month that's currently sitting in an account and gathering dividends and gathering interest. That's not that. This is money that is purely meant to be used in emergency. Hopefully, we will not need to use it and it will just continue to accumulate interest. But in the event that, I don't know, well, let's take a realistic situation. My mother is turning 89 this year. She has some health issues. So just say we're overseas and something happens and I need to get back for mom, and we don't have the cash to be able to buy last minute plane tickets from the other side of the world. We've got this. We've got 25,000. So, hopefully we won't have to use it. Um, but it's always smart to have it. So that represents, if not, the ability for us to get last minute plane tickets plus more. It also represents a half of a year of our spending. So anyway, 6 months worth in the emergency fund. Okay, so there's that. And then we've got our non-retirement investment accounts. So I will be doing a video on my 3 buckets that I have for our bridge years and for retirement going forward. I do have them fully set up now. Um, and now we just get to watch the performance. But in the meantime, this is the total that's in bucket 1 and bucket 2. uh, the 338,000. And from that, we will be getting dividend money that will finance us for the next 7 years in bridge years. We also have CDs and index funds in there. But like I said, I will be going over the composition of my 3 buckets in another video. So that obviously, it did really well. You can't see that here because you've seen a big increase from the house funds, but the market went up and everything just did fantastic. So I'm very pleased with that. Now the 401k traditional, you see an increase. That amount is going up by approximately, let's see, approximately $1,400 a month or so from my contributions at work. So the rest of the difference there is pure market performance. Up market made money. That's fantastic. So I will continue to contribute that in July and August. So that will continue to climb until then. I also have a 401k Roth. Again, I contribute, well, maybe this is around 1,600. This is around 400. Between the two, I contribute about 2,000, a little bit over $2,000 a month. So that one also did well. Our IRAs, we have both my husband and I have IRAs from former jobs in Fidelity. And so between the two IRAs, it went up a little over 5,000, which is very respectable for 1 month. Very pleased with that. And then our Roth IRAs, same. It went up, nice chunk. So very pleased with that as well. Those are all at Fidelity, and I feel really good about the investments that we have there as well. For our HSA, I continue to contribute to this, and we did see some market appreciation. That is getting a contribution of just under $800 a month. I do the maximum. So as you can see here, we did get some appreciation there as well of a little over about $1,000. And that money we are not touching. We are cash flowing any medical expenses we have right now. so that this can continue to grow. By the rule of 72, hopefully it would be doubled in 9 or 10 years. And that money will come in really handy as we start to, get on the other side. We're not traveling as much. We have more medical expenses. That'll really help us on the other side of the world. It'll go a long way, that amount of money. So pretty pleased with that. So let's take a look at our net worth because we have no house anymore. 697,000. So I am so pleased with this. Um, it even with me making adjustments for the commissions and whatnot, it went up quite a bit. So how close are we to our goal? Well, we're just $50,000 away. Just $50,000 away. So I will be continuing to contribute from my pay now that we have no mortgage, no utilities, no homeowners insurance, no property tax, no nothing. I can save a lot over the next 2 months. Um, and then we also have dividends that are already paying out as if we were already traveling. So those will go into the pot as well. I'm going to be honest here. I don't know if we'll make the 52,000. I think it's super ambitious. However, however, if the market continues to perform well, then I think there's a possibility we may be able to do it. However, the market is the market. It goes up, it goes down. So I'm pleased regardless. I'm pleased of where we're at. Now, what does this represent? This represents a month over month increase. Oh, let me do this. A month over month increase of $27,000. And, most of that was the market performance. And that means a percentage of 4.88% increase in 1 month, which is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm very, very pleased. Um, so, we're getting closer and closer to our goal. Now, for dividends and capital gains, as I said, I'm already collecting um, from the investments that I did set up here. Not all of them were in place to pay out in June, so you know, this isn't the full amount that I should be getting every month on average, but it's a decent amount. Now, this is not all the taxable funds. 3,200, little over $3,200 are from the taxable funds. That's what we'll be living off of. So I have worked for years to get over $2,000 per month in retirement dividends, and we've hit that consistently for a bit now. So that's doing really well. And I just continue to reinvest them. They're on DRIP, dividend reinvestment program. So I don't even touch anything. They're just automatically, they pay out, they automatically buy more. They pay out, they automatically buy more. So we're doing really well with those. The non-retirement, that's what's here in this column over here, the non-retirement dividends, those will be used for us to live off of going forward in September. So super excited that that is coming to fruition. As I said, in July and August, we'll be able to see, how much does it look like we'll have. And I'm shooting for 4,000 a month, but I want cushions. So I'm actually shooting for about 4,800 to 5,000 a month. Anything over the 4,000 will be set aside for any taxes that we may have, as well as cushions for months that go over or anything that we want to prepay for the next year. Sometimes a good deal comes on a flight and you just got to grab it. So all that is coming together. As I said, I will be doing a video about my bucket system so that you can see how I've set up my first two buckets for living expenses and also for the dividends. So let's take a look at our net worth progression. And you can see here is March which, we had a real problem April 1st. And then here we start to see this is, I had the windfall come in and then the house sale. And so it's steadily trending up. I've got the trending line in green here, and you can see I'm trending up. And what that is consistency. I consistently contribute and the effect of a bull market. So, with the exception here, you can see where it went down. That was a bit of a pullback. But this is a bull market. So, the market is doing really well. People are buying right now. Valuations are going up. I don't delude myself it's going to continue like this forever. We hit another high yesterday. So, there are going to be adjustments, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine as long as this trend line keeps going up. Okay. So once again, we are up. We are closer to our goal, but will we be able to make the goal by the end of the August? I'm not sure. I'll do another update the next 2 months and we'll be able to see. So thank you so much for watching my videos. And if you like this type of content, please do like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it so much. Um, just wanting to, walk other people through this to see, what, this is possible. You can do it. You can do it with consistency. It just takes time. It takes sacrifice. But, I get to travel the world starting in September. I get to slow travel. I get to see things that I never thought I'd be able to see and go places I never thought I'd be able to go. And so I'm super excited about this. Um, and I hope that you enjoyed, seeing the progress that I'm making. But in any case, have a fantastic week and God bless.